Hello and welcome. This is Amy Zhang. I'm the managing member of Affinity Fund Services, a hedge fund administration firm based in San Francisco. In this series of videos, I will talk about how to start a hedge fund, a guide for emerging managers. If you're a portfolio manager, trader, or other financial professionals who are inspired to run your own hedge fund, you've come to the right place. I made these videos due to demand from people just like you. Hope you will find them helpful. You may download the PDF copy of these slides by visiting our website www.affinitycpa.com. Then click on the tab How to Start a Hedge Fund. First, the agenda. In this first video, we'll cover the basics of the startup process, including the business plan. In the second video, we'll talk about different investors, capital raising strategies and tips. And in the third and last video, we'll discuss key service providers and the cost of starting a fund and keeping it going. And here's my shameless pitch. Who am I? Besides running my firm, Affinity Fund Services, I'm a speaker at different hedge fund events. I'm also chairing the Financial Entrepreneur Forum and CFA Society of San Francisco. I was the asked auditor of more than 30 hedge funds and private equity firms during my prior life working for PricewaterhouseCoopers and the regional public accounting firm specializing in alternative investment industry. My firm, Affinity Fund Services, serves small to medium-sized funds with assets under management between $2 million to $200 million. Our administration services include fund accounting, preparation of financial statements, and disbursement letter for California registered investment advisors. We are as auditor and ensure a smooth audit for your hedge fund. We treat our clients as our business partners and provide all services at a price that preserves your fund performance. Visit our website and learn more about me and our firm. Our contact information is listed on the screen. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the fund startup process. In brief, create your business plan, get the words out, engage key service providers, and address operating issues, and then start investing. First step in your startup process, create a business plan. There are lots of templates that you can find online by Google search. In the planning stage, you may not have all the details quite worked out yet, but at least go through the following items mentally: economic feasibility, costs, and investment program. First item on your business plan: economic feasibility study. Number 1. Who are your target investors? We're talking about investors on day 1, investors in 2 to 3 years, and investors after 3 years. We'll cover different types of investors and capital raising strategies in more details in our second video. What I do want to point out here is that where your investors are from determines the legal structure of the fund. If you have investors residing out of the States, you'll most likely need to set up a master feeder fund and will have higher legal and administration costs comparing to a simple standalone fund. Number 2. How much do you plan to invest in the fund yourself? There's no set percentage as to how much you should invest in your fund, but the idea is that you should feel the pain when the fund's performance is down. Number 3. Fee structure. The standard fee structure is 220, 2% management fee and 20% performance and incentive fee. Base your fee structure on your investment skill set. Typically, fees may be lower for significant or long-term investment commitment, or for some family and friends investing during early stage. In which case, make sure to engage a good attorney to draft the side letters, including conflict resolution procedures. Number 4. contingency plan for the next 18 to 24 months. If no additional capital is raised, how long can your fund survive? Most of the newer funds have 2 to 3 years reserves set aside, and I encourage such a prudent approach in light of the current capital market, especially if you don't already have a track record ported from a big investment institution. Second item on your business plan: costs. This includes fees paid to key service providers, such as your attorney, auditor, tax preparer, and administrator. Trading costs, such as custody fee, commission fee, ticket charges paid to your prime broker. Operating costs, such as rent, website design, marketing and office expenses, and for some funds, you may need to hire employee, including back office people right away. We'll discuss this in more details in our third video. Now, the most important part of your business plan: your investment program. Number 1, investment objective. Which market do you plan to invest in? US, Europe, emerging or frontier market? What's the general investment strategy? Is it long-short equity, fixed income, distressed debts, merger arbitrage, event-driven, or a mix? What's an appropriate benchmark for your fund? Number 2, establish a well-defined investment process that describes how you make investments. Be sure to address the risks involved. Number 3, what makes you different from other managers in the market? You either have skill set that enables you to get better investment insights from the same information than another manager, or you can gather better information in a particular market segment. Or better yet, you can do both. Identify your competitive advantage and articulate that well will help you with the next step of the startup process: getting the words out. First and foremost, this is not what I would consider as capital raising, which will be covered in the second video. However, some of the information will feed into the capital raising process. I suggest you take careful notes of all conversations with different groups. First group, someone you trust and have a strong personal relationship with. Second group, existing professional friends. Third group, strangers you meet at professional networking or social events. First, go with someone you trust and have a strong personal relationship with. This may be your spouse, your parents, your best friends from childhood, and some of your professional friends. These people are the ones who are more likely to give you an honest opinion, although not necessarily the best opinion, due to their experience and background. Then, talk to your professional circle, which includes your ex-coworkers, bosses, schoolmates, etc. These people may not be as strongly connected to you personally, but they understand the business or financial industry well enough to give you more relevant insights. Third group may be where you feel most uncomfortable with: strangers you meet at professional networking events. Observe their reaction. When do they start looking interested or bored? What questions do they ask? Is it something worth addressing in your business plan? Are they someone you want to keep in touch with once the fund launches? This is also the time to practice your skills delivering a persuasive marketing pitch, and in some cases, your capability to swallow some harsh rejections. We go by this sequence of groups of people, so you may practice your presentation first in front of the people who are most forgiving, or you have least to lose. When you talk, be yourself, but at the same time treat them as if they're your next investor. including your spouse and parents, since they can very well be one or know someone who is a good fit. After you finish your round, revise and clean up your business plan, which by this time should have at least 10 to 20 changes. Go back and revisit all of the people you talked to. This is when the actual capital raising happens, and the strategies and tips will be discussed in our second video. Get the words out before entering into business contracts so you may hear both positive and negative feedback and adjust them effectively. If there are some areas that you cannot handle by yourself, it's time to find a business partner or explore outsourcing options. If you can find a good portfolio manager or business development person to partner up with, it will greatly reduce the startup stress and workload. Before you sign up investors, you will need to line up your service providers and work out some operational issues, which will be discussed in our third video. But if you just want some local names to call for a quote, go to our list of service providers serving hedge funds of different sizes. Visit our website www.affinitycpa.com, then click on the tab Service Providers. These service providers all come from referrals, and I don't charge them any fees. If you're looking for someone local and none of the service providers listed here are within your area, go to local professional associations such as CFA Society or CAIA Kaya, and they can usually give you some names of local service providers. In addition to lining up your service providers, you also need to start looking for office space, build a website, and work on your pitch book. Believe it or not, you can do most of them by yourself, or if you have resources available, hire a professional to help you with the process. Again, this will be covered in more details in third video, the costs of running a hedge fund. I know you cannot wait to start working on what you are best at, investing. But you probably have noticed that we have not talked about capital raising at all. In our second video, we'll talk about different investors, pros and cons of different funding sources, capital raising strategies, and tips. In the third and last video, we'll talk about key service providers and go through a quick calculation of how much it is to start a fund and keeping it going. Lastly, the legal disclaimer. While I read through it, I will share two resources. First, our highly rated 30 minutes consultation. Mention this YouTube video, and I will speak with you to discuss the concerns you have for your fund launch for free. Second, our blog. Read our article regarding various aspects of starting and running a fund. Subscribe for free so you will be notified when a new article comes out. We are currently working on topics such as finding a business partner, what to include in your pitch book, and how to market your prior performance. Thank you for watching. Our contact information is on the screen if you have any questions. I hope you will join us for our second video. Talk to you later.